Today we're going to go over 5 things you should never buy in GTA 5 Online. Before we get into the video, be sure to check out my boy It's Jerry down below in the description, and also check out my boy It's Joe. We're going to start doing a bunch of videos together, so be sure to show them some love and support down below in the description. With that said, I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. First up, Bugattis. They're some of the nicest cars in the world and some of the nicest cars in GTA. Extremely luxurious, just beautiful cars in the end. But there is one of them that you should definitely stay away from if you guys like to race, and that car is going to be the Thrax. Even though it looks to be the nicest one, in my opinion, I love the look of the Bugatti Divo, and it is also the most expensive one. It is really, really slow. It is literally slower than the Adder, which is the first Bugatti that was added in GTA 5 Online, and I believe it was added when this game was actually released. So a car that came out just a few years ago is much slower than the first Bugatti ever released in GTA 5. Now in real life, obviously their times are pretty similar in 0 to 60, but when you line them up for a simple drag race, the Adder actually destroys the Thrax in this race. Their top speeds are pretty similar, but it seems that the Adder has a bit better of an acceleration, and by the end, the Thrax reaches a top speed of 118 miles per hour, while the Adder reaches a top speed of 120 miles per hour in this specific drag race, while their top speeds in the actual game are about 124 for the Thrax and 124.75 for the Adder, which is pretty crazy. So you're going to spend literally 2 times, actually a little bit more than that, 2.3 or 2.4 times the money on the Thrax, and if you're going to use it for racing, that's the biggest mistake ever. But if you guys are just going to be using it just because it's a fun vehicle and you want to upgrade it, then definitely buy it. But if you guys do stunt races, do not buy the Thrax. If you want to buy a Bugatti, buy the Nero Custom. It's the fastest out of all of the Truffade cars in this game, and that is the one I would suggest purchasing. Just stay away from the Thrax if you guys want to race with it, because it's honestly just not the best. The Slam Truck. On Rockstar's Newswire, it says that you could literally use this truck to ramp other motorcycles into the air. They say it happens all the time, and any buyers should be aware that this will definitely happen. The Slam Truck was honestly a disappointment from when it was released into this game, and even before that when it wasn't released, when we could access it from the drip feed vehicles on PC. But the fact that they said that you can ramp off this vehicle and you actually cannot just makes it even worse, because they literally said that you could do it. And of course, when it comes to storing any cars on the back of it, you can for about 15 seconds, and then they will just fall right off the back, and then you'll have to pick them back up again and put them back on the truck. Obviously, you guys have probably seen the video of this is exactly what we wanted the Slam Truck to do. If you do want to see that video, the link is down below in the description. It's literally what we wanted from this thing. But like I said, Rockstar said you can ramp off the back of this. Well, that is not true at all. This Slam Truck just becomes an even bigger disappointment, because if you try to ramp off of it, you will not be able to whatsoever. And some of you guys might be saying, oh, you're not wheeling right or something like that, or this bike can't ramp off things properly. In the video, they were using like a chopper motorcycle, but those things really don't wheelie, and this bike really does. It can literally jump over anything. You can see I was just jumping over some barriers right there, this smaller barrier here, and the fact that it can also ramp over literal cars. Like, in a minute here, I'm going to drive over the back of a car and ramp up into the air, and the fact that you can't ramp off the back of the Slam Truck, literally what Rockstar intended it for, just makes it even worse. The only thing that you could do with this truck is lift it off the ground with the hydraulics, just making it a terrible vehicle, and I would highly suggest you don't buy it. Next up is going to be business upgrades. No, I'm not talking about security, staff, and equipment. I'm talking about the actual cosmetic stuff for businesses. Now, I'm not saying don't buy this. I'm saying wait, because the amount of times on Thursdays when I post the new discounts and all the new content we receive every single week, everybody's like, I just fully upgraded my facility or my hangar or my bunker or something like that, and they could have saved maybe even over $1 million. So the reason why I say do not bother to buy any of this stuff until it's discounted is because you could just save a lot more money. And every single week there's discounts on business renovations. So why would you guys spend the regular amount of money if you just were to wait a couple of weeks? You could literally get it 40% off or 30% off. Most of the time it's 40 or 30% off. And that really makes a huge difference, especially for certain things like the orbital cannon. If you pay $900,000 for that, you can get it 40% off and save like $400,000, which makes a huge difference, because then you could spend that $400,000 on another business upgrade instead, or you could spend it on upgrades for something else, or just anything in the game. And it's not like any of these things are actual necessities in GTA 5. They're all just purely cosmetic, so you really don't need to buy them at all in the end game. But if you do want to buy them at some point, I would just wait until they're on sale, because then you could save a lot of money. Obviously, there's no need to buy them right away when you could save over $1 million in the future by just waiting a little longer, because you're usually just changing very basic stuff. And if you guys don't want to do this, then go and upgrade them, and imagine next week it says they're 40% off and you just fully upgraded and purchased the most expensive bunker when you could have saved $2 million or something upgrading it and purchasing the actual property, and that $2 million could have gone towards something else in GTA 5. So that's why I say it's better to just wait just in case, especially when it comes to upgrading things that don't really make a huge difference when it comes to businesses. Next up is going to be hangars. Now, you should definitely stay away from these unless you want to buy it solely for the purpose of customizing planes. I've seen so many people in GTA 5, they go and they buy the most expensive hangar at the military base, and then they say, oh, I just use it to store some of my planes and upgrade some cool stuff. Well, yeah, that's great, but why didn't you buy the cheaper one at the airport? The one at the airport at LSIA is obviously much closer to you. Most of the time you're going to be in the city and not up towards Blaine County, so why would you buy the most expensive one at the military base when you can get that one for much cheaper cost? Obviously there are also some cheaper ones at the military base, which also lets you go into the military base and you won't get 4 stars, which is pretty cool. So why do you buy the most expensive one there? And even when it comes to doing any kind of hangar business work, it's terrible. The missions take way too long to do, and they just don't net you a huge profit. I believe you get like 10 grand per crate you deliver, which is terrible, but you do get a bonus when you actually sell everything in the end, but by the time you sell it, you could have made so much more money anywhere else in the game. So when it comes to hangars, the only reason you would ever want to purchase one is to solely just upgrade your planes or get access into the military base. So I would highly suggest you guys either buy the cheapest hangar that you can possibly get if you want to upgrade some of your planes, and if you're just buying the hangar just so you can get access to the military base and not get stars, think of it this way. If you were to spend $5,000 bribing the authorities from Leicester, you can access the military base 430 times. That is what the cheapest hangar costs to buy at the military base. So just think of that next time, or if you already bought the hangar, then just think about it now and realize that you made a big mistake if the only reason you purchased it was solely for that. So if you want to purchase one, just get it at the airport and get the absolute cheapest one, because they're all the exact same on the inside, and when it comes to making money from them, they're just not that great, so just buy the cheapest one anyways. And the final thing you should never buy in GTA 5 are going to be any MC businesses. The only thing you should buy that is anything like the MC businesses is just going to be the cheapest clubhouse. The only reason you want to do that is so then you can actually become an MC president and you can request your motorcycles in right next to you, and you don't even need to store the motorcycles inside there. You get access to all of them. But when it comes to the businesses, while being an MC president, they're all terrible. It takes way too much time and you just don't get a huge profit until you spend the money upgrading all of the businesses. And now that we have so many other ways in GTA 5 to make money, the two worst things you could do are owning MC businesses and owning a hangar. Like, there's certain businesses in GTA 5, if you actually purchase them and you buy supplies instead of steal them, you'll actually end up losing money every time you sell your product, which is the only business in this entire game where that happens. So I would highly suggest you just stay away from them. And like I said, if you want to make money somewhere else, literally every other business other than the hangar business and the MC businesses will net you a great profit no matter what. And some people say you can make a ton of money from MC businesses. Well, you can if you spend a ton of time doing it. I can make way more money anywhere else in any other business in this game. Like, some people might say, oh, you can make like $200,000 in an hour. Well, I can make $300,000 from doing vehicle cargo, $355,000 from special cargo. I can make over $1.3 million minimum from the Cayo Perico heist, and over $700,000 in about 2 hours minimum from the Diamond Casino heist. And also doing VIP and Terabyte missions, you can make upwards of $350,000 per hour. So when it comes to the hangar and MC businesses, they just look like shit next to that. That's like putting a Honda Civic next to a Lamborghini. So when it comes down to it, I would just highly suggest you stay away from purchasing any kind of MC businesses in GTA 5, because you will regret it in the end. Back in the day, they honestly used to be pretty great to make money because they were one of the first businesses in the game, and they were honestly not that bad. But now that we've gotten so much more ways to make money, and in the future we're probably going to get a lot of other ways to make more money, since Rockstar is finally listening to us when we say we want better ways to make money. If they're going to keep upping the prices of everything in game, Finally, they're doing it. So the MC businesses really aren't the best, but if they were triple money, maybe even double money, then they might be worth it, but still, you can make a lot more money doing a lot of other things. If you guys want to know how, there's a playlist link down below with tons of guides on how to make money in GTA 5. Anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to check out my boy It's Jerry and It's Joe down below in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.